call me, yeah, okay, so my name is Jim Schuyler, and people call me Sky. And I run a gaming company called Red7.com, and I'm also the Chief Technology Officer of the Dalai Lama Foundation, and I am one of the traveling geeks. Actually, I'm kind of the CTO of the traveling geeks, so I'm the Geeks Geek.
Okay, and you've just finished the grueling week in the UK. What are your initial impressions on the UK at the end of your trip?
Well, first of all, let's talk about grueling, okay? So I found, this was interesting. I got here, and this is like the first trip I've taken in a long time when I had no jet lag. So first of all, I must compliment the UK, if I can get those words out of my mouth, compliment the UK on the lack of jet lag. And that's probably because we got going right into this agenda. We had, what you call a grueling agenda, starting at 8 to 10 in the morning and running until 10 or 11 at night. And I would say, more than any other trip that I've taken, even that was pre-scheduled, I think there was a far higher percentage of companies and entrepreneurs that I saw that had something that I wanted to use. I was really surprised by that. So my initial concept of the trip, now, we went through a couple of rounds, so there were a lot of companies, excuse me, the bugs are biting. There were a lot of companies that presented, a lot of company names presented to us, and we made some choices. And then after that, the companies were brought together to talk to us. So we did really pre-select. But I was very, very happy with the high percentage of companies that were very relevant to the kinds of things I do. And that's both commercial and NGO.
That's great. And obviously the last 2 days of the trip were up in Cambridge.
Yeah.
So how did you find, what were your experiences of Cambridge?
Well, the 2 days were quite different. So the day yesterday, the first day, we met with some of the research labs associated with Cambridge. Let me just say, I didn't have a concept of how the university worked with its intellectual property offspring, and so it was really instructional, enlightening for me. It's somewhat different than what we were seeing in London, but I was impressed in both cases with what I call the porosity. So the international nature of people that we were talking with, the way there's funding available. And the thing that I think is really encouraging is that in the environment here in Cambridge, there's funding available, and I suspect a lot of that just goes with the fact that we're talking university students here, to get things started. And that's really the critical stage. Anyone can have an idea, anybody can take that idea and start making reality out of it. But what's important is getting them to that first and a half kind of stage where they need some money in order to really be able to do something with it. And that apparently really does happen, pretty neatly in association with Cambridge.
And there's always been very strong relationships between the technology community here and with Silicon Valley. So has what you've seen sort of strengthened, in your opinion, the idea that they're actually quite synergistic technology communities?
Yeah, I think so. I probably have 50 business cards that I picked up, and they're wadded into an envelope to go back with me. Out of those 50, I'll bet you 30 of those companies are companies where I'm going to use their product.
Wow. And
we're talking virtual products. We're talking web-based stuff. I say web, I mean internet-based stuff is actually what I mean. I keep telling my clients it's not necessarily web, it's internet. So I would say there are probably 20 to 30 of the companies and entrepreneurs that I've met that will do something with their product or maybe even something with the company.
That's great. Thank you, Sky. And on behalf of the community here, thank you again for choosing to spend some time in Cambridge.
As you know, it was our pleasure.
Thank you.